Kellen Moore. Oh, man, we were this close. I thought we were out of the woods. I thought that maybe there was a slight bit of hope that he would not leave the Philadelphia Eagles and stay one more year. But unfortunately, it has happened, and Nick had a lot to say regarding his coaching staff, and it looks like the Eagles are be going on a process to find the next offensive coordinator. We're going to be talking, obviously, ones that could be there and some new names that are starting to pop up a little bit. So it's going to be really interesting here. Let's get straight into it.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Today's video is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. Okay, so the bad news is here, guys. Unfortunately, it looks like Kellen Moore will be the new head coach to the New Orleans Saints. From Ian Rappaport saying Kellen Moore is finalizing a deal with the Saints to be their new head coach per the insiders. What was expected for more than a week will be officially soon. Moore leaves Philly a Super Bowl champion, and now the work begins in New Orleans. And people are asking me, why would he take that job? Why wouldn't he want to run it one more time? Unfortunately, guys, this is a guy that's had a good reputation, and it was talked about at the beginning of this past season that he could leave after this year. So the Eagles have to make the best of the situation. I have to give Kellen Moore a lot of credit. He was not distracted through this process, and he really kept to his own self and got this offense where it needed to be and won a Super Bowl, and he goes out a Super Bowl champion. So I have to give Kellen Moore a lot of respect for that. Yeah, you can become a head coach. You get 4 times. You get 4 times the pay. And, you know, I guess he wants to rebuild a team. Some guys just like doing that. I guess he has a lot of interest in doing that. Remember, he interviewed for the head coaching job for the Eagles in 21 before we hired Nick Sirianni, okay? So since Kellen Moore is out of the picture now, okay, and because it's after the Super Bowl, you're late to the process. You literally have a few weeks because free agency will be here before we realize it will be here as fast as possible, okay? With some of the other news coming out, the Eagles are expected to conduct a full interview process for the next offensive coordinator per Jeff McClain. Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman will oversee the entire process, okay? So it doesn't sound like they have somebody in mind right now, but there are 3 different types of coordinators that you can go get, okay? 3 different types of guys you could go get. One, I think the number one guy I think will take this job. It's Kevin Patullo, okay? Kevin Patullo's been the passing game coordinator the last few years. I don't know how much he's had a say in when it comes to play calling or whatnot, just because when the Eagles had their downfall in 23, Kevin Patullo was here. So if Brian Johnson was the scapegoat and Nick couldn't game plan in 23, what happened to Kevin Patullo if he was already here? Okay, he's been here for a few years. So the 23 year if Patullo was here, why didn't he step in? Unless they didn't let him step in. I have no idea. But I am getting weary of the hiring from within. The last time the Eagles did this or tried to do this, okay, Doug Peterson was fired when he wanted Press Taylor as his OC, okay? And it just didn't happen, okay? And that's one of the biggest problems I have right now. And I think we have to be open to a move like this. Kevin Patullo is highly involved in game planning and things like that. So I'm just weary of it because the Eagles, like, I don't know how Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman feel. If this was an easy pick, Kevin Patullo would be the OC right now, okay? He'd be the OC right now. But obviously what they want to see what's out there. So either you're going to hire from within. Either you're going to go out and get a guy that's been through it all, head coach, has been a coordinator, has done everything in his career, okay, has won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles in general, and has worked with Nick as obviously a head coach in Indianapolis when Nick was the offensive coordinator for Indianapolis before he came to the Philadelphia Eagles as the head coach, Frank Reich, a guy that you don't have to worry about leaving after the next few years or ever. Vic Fangio, thank God, he's here for the rest. I'm glad he got his first ring in his career. I'm glad that he's here, and, you know, he'll be here until he retires. But offensively now, this is a problem. So getting an older guy like this will save you some time. But you got to be really careful right now. You are in an open Super Bowl window right now with this team. Your offense, besides Kenny G LaRaven Clark, and Fred Johnson, there's no free agents. Like, everybody is locked up. Your offense is locked up. Same offense going into this year. Not Jahan Dotson. Everybody is on contract, which is great. And whatever they want to do is really up to them when it comes to Howie Roseman and the offseason. Okay. But you're intact, and you have to make the right decision here. So obviously Frank Reich could be another one. Obviously out there you have Bobby Slowick, you have Bieniemy, if he wants to come back, if he's going to come back, I have no idea. There's two other names that did pop up as well, and this is where your third option is a younger dude, a younger guy, a QB coach, something like that. One has been mentioned. The one has been mentioned as of right now, if I didn't lose the page. David Girardi, he's the Chiefs QB coach, has worked with Patrick Mahomes for the last 3 years. So that could be one option there with David Girardi. And then you have T. Martin as the Ravens quarterback coach, been there for a few years as well. So obviously, you're kind of thinking if Kellen Moore is going right now, Dave Newsome is probably going to be, Niemeyer, whatever his name is going to be gone as well with Kellen Moore. I would expect he's taking him with him because he's pretty much has gone everywhere else with Kellen at this point. So taking a younger guy is a risk. It's a risk. The guy has never been a coordinator. Obviously, it's going to be a collaborative effort with Nick because realistically, it's Nick's offense, and we just had Kellen's flavor going into this season. And with another guy, what is someone else going to bring to the table this young? Okay. And the good thing is, if it works out with a younger guy, offensive coordinator, you can have them for a lot longer, at least 3 years. I mean, if they can keep someone for 2 years, I'll be happy. I'm fine with 2. 3 would be great. Kind of keep some continuity and keep that constant of keeping the same coordinator, QB coach with Jalen Hurts, and just keeping it the same way for at least another few years would be great. So young guys potentially there between both of those guys. So it's either a veteran guy that's been through it all, but the risk is, do they still have it in them, to game plan and do what you want them to do? You get a guy with a good reputation right now, is trying to get a head coaching job. This is what you're going to deal with Kellen Moore leaving after 1 year, or you go after the young hires and, take a chance and hope and hope to God, because if that doesn't work out, then Nick's going to have to call plays, and we know that can't happen. So those are really your big options right now. We'll find out. Obviously, I'll report on who they do interview. You have a few weeks. You don't have much time. It's not much time, but they just have enough time as of right now. Now, Nick had a lot to say on losing assistant coaches, okay? So he says Nick Sirianni on assistant coach like Kellen Moore, taking staff members with him, because that's what happens. Okay, that's what happens when, coordinators leave to become head coaches. They take a lot of that staff away. The Lions, their whole staff is pretty much gone right now. Both coordinators gone. So it says, he says, I don't let that happen usually, but sometimes you can't help it. Just like Frank said to me, this is my staff, and you can't have these guys. It's hard to build the staff and the continuity in there. But there's something you can't, like the Nick Rallis situation. He had the opportunity to go and be promoted, and that's the way the rules are now. Every situation is a little different, but my general thought on that is this is my Philadelphia Eagles staff. So pretty much what he's saying is I'm going to control whatever I possibly can control, but I have no control. I'm going to try to, persuade my staff to stay here. Because remember the Nick Rallis situation. Nick Rallis was the linebacker coach, I think, for the Eagles. When Jonathan Gann left for that Arizona head coaching job, Nick Rallis became, I think, his defensive coordinator. So we lost Nick Rallis there. Like I said, I think you're going to lose. I think one potentially you're going to lose, like I said before, is going to be Doug Newsome. It's definitely he's been with Kellen the 4 years in Dallas, the year with LA, and then coming to the Eagles. So I think when it comes to QB coach, I think you're going to lose him 100%. I'll be shocked if he's still here. The assistant coaches that I do not want to leave the Philadelphia Eagles as of right now is the linebacker coach in Bobby King. Clint Hurt, the defensive line coach, cannot leave, okay? Cannot leave. And I think he's got a really close relationship with the guys. Not even that, but he's already been a defensive coordinator, so hopefully he's not hungry to get another defensive coordinator job, which he's definitely not going to get this season anyway. But I think Clint Hurt is definitely huge for this team. And obviously the last one is Christian Parker that's been with Fangio in the past when they were together in Denver. So Christian Parker's done a fantastic job with the cornerback group, and it's been amazing. So like I said, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. I mean, he doesn't have any type of control when it comes to the positional coaches, quarterback, any of these coaches that want to go somewhere else, that they get hired to go somewhere else, they can go. Nick can't stop it. Nick can't block it. Okay. So he's hoping that, you're coming off a Super Bowl and there's a big chance they could repeat once again. So it might help some coaches say, I'm going to stay here because I really want to help this team get there again. Okay. We're not as lucky as the Kansas City Chiefs that had Andy Reid there for as long as they have, keeping the play calling in-house. Doesn't matter what coordinator he has next to them, he is the play caller. And obviously Spags has been the DC and KC since 2018. I mean, coordinators never sit on teams for that long. They're that lucky that they have guys that sit there for that long. With the Philadelphia Eagles and what they've been going through every year, it's always somebody different. But hopefully we start to make some concrete moves. We'll see what the OC is about. The defense, where we have no issue with. The defense, I'm not even worried about it. Not even worried for a second over it. So, like I said, you're going to lose some guys. Kellen Moore, unfortunately, he's gone now, and, things happen for a reason. And like I said, you got 3 different coordinators you can get. The savvy vet, that's not going anywhere. Or you get a guy with a good reputation that can leave within a year, or you get a young guy and give him a chance to move up in the ranks and have him for a few years. Those are really your 3 different types of coordinator options that you have out there. Or you just, put Kevin Patul in there and see what he could do. They didn't hire him immediately, so obviously they're set on going through this entire interview process, which I want there to be a picky, big interview process. Don't just hire the first guy that walks in. Do multiple interviews. As long as they can possibly stretch this out. We got free agency in a few weeks. We'll see what happens. You guys let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Who do you think the next OC is going to be? How do you feel about Kellen Moore leaving this team? And this is where we're at, and we'll have more news. We got the parade this week. We have a lot of going on. We're Super Bowl 59 champs, and we're still happy about it. Doesn't matter. But you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. And make sure you hit the like button because it helps the channel tremendously. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.